East 29th Street here in Bryan will see some major changes over the next few months, so be prepared to spend a little extra time on the road. On Monday, the veterans were given flat pieces of metal like this, and by Wednesday, that metal had begun to take the shape and form of a spur like this. If the lighting, grandstand, and turf contracts are approved at Tuesday's City Council meeting, renovations could begin as early as next week. The new technologies will be phased in over the next year or so. One of the biggest changes you'll see first is here at the corner of Ross and Bazell. The Madison County investigators said that the cattle being stolen are unbranded, making it hard to identify them. Some of the cattle had ear tags, but those can easily be removed. When Feder moved to the College Station area, he learned the significance of the Aggie ring. So he knew he had something special when he saw something like this shining from just a couple of inches below the ground. An animal trapped in a hot car can get heat stroke or heat exhaustion in as little as just 15 minutes. If you need help figuring out how much to water your lawn, College Station offers a free irrigation checkup. I'm here at the construction site of 500 Bryan North. It's in downtown Bryan at the corner of 22nd Street and Bryan Avenue. The developers tell me that construction started in January. When all 3 phases of the project are complete, there will be 2 buildings with 4 apartments and 1 small office. The 3rd phase will include 2 3-story buildings with 20 apartments and about 9,000 square feet of commercial space. Designers worked with the Downtown Bryan Association to integrate the new buildings with the already existing structures in the area.
We wanted to create an urban neighborhood, so we wanted people to be living and working and going to their evening activities in downtown, and so we felt pretty strongly that the best way to do that was to integrate the residential community right in the heart of downtown.
Developers tell me that the property will be ready to lease as early as August. Coming up at 10, it's not just new apartments. We'll give you a look at the latest construction at the Queen Theater. Live in Bryan, Callie, Henly, News 3. At the Anderson Food Pantry,
we're passing out food. We want people to feel like the food is clean and that it's coming from people that love them, like family.
Derek and Melissa Darst want their pantry to welcome people for food and fellowship.
So we don't want it to just be a place that people come, they show up, we hand them their food and then send them out the door. We want to really engage with people and form relationships.
But it's not just about the food. The Darsts also brought in new ideas like the thread shed.
This is where we keep all of our clothing and household items that are donated, and these are all available for free to our clients, and they're welcome to come in here and shop and take as much as they want.
The Darsts have their eye on expansion.
As we say in one sentence, resurrect the old feed store in downtown Anderson to feed people.
The number of people coming to the pantry has doubled since last April, so a bigger space is set to open in May.
We want to take a piece of history and something that was unique to Anderson, and again, we want to breathe new life. We want to take a space and we want to reclaim it with a bigger and better purpose.
The Darst Ministry Mission Reclaimed sets the tone for how the couple serves the people of Anderson.
We've tried to take reclaimed pieces and breathe new life into them, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do with our organization, is breathe life into some of these people and help them reclaim their lives.
In Anderson, Callie, Henly, News 3. CopSync is the newest way that Calvert ISD will be ready in an emergency.
It is very important to us that we have that safety factor and we can get help immediately from the law enforcement, as well as to be able to lock down the rest of the school.
The CopSync program is the school's quickest route to safety with just the touch of a button.
All we have to do is hit one icon on the computer and it notifies the closest 4 law officials in the county.
An emergency can be silently reported from any staff member's computer or cell phone.
If there was a true incident, this is exactly what you would see.
Emergency officials see the messages from the staff member and their exact location.
When you get the message on your CopSync interface, you'd be able to type in and see exactly the floor plan on where to go.
Sergeant Bleeker said that CopSync helps connect the school directly to law enforcement.
Very helpful technology. It could definitely be useful in saving lives, because the more time it takes to get to somewhere, the more lives that could potentially take place if it happened to be something as far as an assault with a firearm.
This program is very affordable for schools. It costs less than $2,000 per year. In Calvert, Callie Henly, News 3. For David Fetter, digging for treasure is a hobby he pursues with the help of his metal detector. Fetter said his reward is the joy in finding and returning priceless memorabilia to people.
If anybody loses anything, I'll definitely get it back to them. Free, no charge.
His treasure-finding streak started with a gold band he found in North Carolina.
At first I thought it was fake, so I took it home and let my mother-in-law look at it, and she said, I think it's real because it had 18K in it.
When Fetter moved to the College Station area, he learned the significance of the Aggie ring. So he knew he had something special when he saw something like this shining from just a couple of inches below the ground.
Found that Aggie ring, I couldn't believe it, and put it on Facebook, and finally got in touch with the owner and was able to send it back to her, and she said that she had lost it 10 years prior.
But his latest find was a 1994 Beaumont High School class ring that belonged to a class of 98 Texas A&M alumni.
He was very glad to be getting it back, and he said, I can't believe a lawnmower didn't run over it or something as shallow as it was. He was very surprised and very happy as well.
But he doesn't always dig up the jackpot.
I also dig up a lot of trash too, and always try to dispose of that as well.
But for returns like rings and this historic Corps of Cadet medallion, he said people feel like the owner who was finally reunited with her Aggie gold.
Disbelief as well. She couldn't believe that someone was returning it to her.
In College Station, Callie Henly, News 3. After 7 long years,
we're very pleased that finishing the Queen is now in sight.
Ben Hardiman is the Downtown Bryan Association treasurer and says the doors will be open soon.
Possibly within 17, but certainly within the next 12 months. We anticipate completion of the project and get it open to the public and have a big party.
Hardiman says the loan issued to the Downtown Bryan Association has a $500,000 cap for the renovations.
We don't think the loan will be 100% of what we need, but it'll let us move forward and demonstrate to the community that we're going to get this project finished.
The monetary donations and volunteers that have been such an important part of the project this far will still be needed over the next year.
We do have to pay it back. While it will get us down the road, we are going to be very active in the next 12 months to raise money so that we can finish the project and have a minimal debt when we do finish.
Hardiman says he is excited to start making noticeable progress on the renovations.
So the first project will be to get the utilities plumbed and wired inside the building.
Hardiman has seen Downtown Bryan and the Queen Theater go through many phases. He moved to Downtown Bryan at just 1 year old.
In my thought, Downtown Bryan would never be complete without the Queen being restored.
In Bryan, Callie Henly, News 3.
Oh, I'm 98 years old.
And after 22 years in her College Station home, Dorothy Kurtzman needed several home repairs last year. Flooding damage, a broken heating and air conditioning system, and a new breaker box. Terry Lisi is the Assistant Vice President of the First National Bank in Anderson. The bank was robbed in 2009.
I think that an app like this would have been beneficial to us because if anybody would have seen or heard anything, it would have helped us a lot.
That app is P3 Global Intel Tip Management, put in place by the Grimes County Crime Stoppers in January.
I've been very pleased with the software. Definitely makes managing the tips coming in and keeping up on the caseload a lot easier.
Since January, Crime Stoppers has seen an increase in tips coming in.
It's more convenient. Everybody has a smartphone and app, so they can put it right on their phone and submit it that way versus actually having to call and talk to somebody.
One tip led to the arrest of Dante Owens, who robbed the Dollar General in Bedice in January.
Citizens in the area that knew information about the crime started reporting that through the new software program. One of the tips, we were able to identify the suspect in the case.
It's not just easier, it's faster too. Green gets text and email alerts as soon as the information comes in via text or phone call.
I'm able to log in actually from the application on my phone, and I can send it out immediately to whatever appropriate agency that needs to look at it.
Lacey says that the app could have made the bank robbery arrest even faster in 2009.
I think anything that will help our law enforcement make their jobs easier is something that's very beneficial to our county.
The program cost the Sheriff's Office $1,200 per year. In Grimes County, Callie, Henly, News 3. For 35 years, C&J Barbecue has been serving up customer satisfaction in the Brazos Valley. People keep coming back for their favorites.
The brisket.
Or
the turkey, the smoked turkey.
Justin Manning's family owns C&J and says weighing the meat is an important part of their business. And to make sure they serve a fair amount of meat, their scales are currently regulated by the Texas Department of Agriculture.
It's always in the customer's favor. There's never any shortchanging going on.
But House Bill 2029, the barbecue bill, would no longer require those state inspections in businesses that serve food for immediate consumption. Instead, local inspectors would check the scales in their regular visits.
And we make sure that we have enough food for the customer. We regulate the weight that they're getting. Also keeps us in check to make sure that we're cutting the appropriate amount of meat.
Manning says checking their scales could definitely be done locally, avoiding the fees and time that come along with a state inspection.
If there is a complaint, we try to answer that and we try to address that to make sure that all of our customers have a great experience at C&J Barbecue, because we want to put our customers first and their experience first.
Supporters of the bill say if a customer feels like they are being shortchanged, to take their complaints online, not to the Agriculture Commission.
That's how you do it right there.
In College Station, Callie, Henly, News 3.